only ladder system of its kind designed to get drivers into the Verizon IndyCar Series. And I'm now joined by, who do we got here? Team Pelfrey, Pro Mazda. Guys, how's it going? Welcome to the stage. How's the weekend going?
I think for us, all as a team, the weekend is going really well. For me personally, it's going much better than last weekend in St. Petersburg. We struggled with pace there, but it's really cool to come out here and really come out strong out of the box. I kind of knew we were going to be fast here because we tested here a couple weeks ago and we were pretty fast. So I think it's really good to be here. I'm really enjoying the track. It's a really nice track, one of the best I've been to. So yeah, everything's going really well. Placed P4 today, starting from 6th. So I think that was pretty good for me. And yeah, tomorrow, I don't know if it's gonna be a wet race or not, but hopefully we can get it on the podium.
I kind of did this backwards. I want each one of you guys, if you can, to help me out. Go down the line and just introduce yourself. This is something we're trying to do a little bit differently here. So Andres, you kind of already kicked us off, but just introduce yourself, say where you're from. Oh, you'll still introduce, but I just want each one of you guys to kind of introduce yourselves, tell us who you are, where you're from, and what you started racing in, okay?
Yeah, of course. Well, my name is Andres Gutierrez, and I'm from Mexico. I'm 17 years old, and I started racing at the age of 5 years old when my parents gave me a go-kart for Christmas. And yeah, since then I just got addicted to racing and moved up since. It's been a pretty long journey and looking forward for what holds in the future.
All right, Andres, thank you very much.
My name is Stingray Rob. I'm 16 years old from Payette, Idaho. I started karting when I was 5 years old when my parents got me a go-kart for my birthday. But I've been around racing all my life. My parents were big Corvette fans, that's the name Stingray. So yeah, we're working forward to a good season here with Team Pelfrey and loving being with my teammates.
All right, thanks, Stingray.
Hi, my name is Rafael Martins. I'm from Brazil. I'm 19 years old. A bit older than these two guys here, a bit more experienced. Well, I started racing when I was just 6 years old. And I started when I asked my parents to have a go-kart, honestly. My father used to race a lot. He did some go-kart racing, he did some F3, Formula 3 racing as well. And since I was very young, so I saw him driving, so I think that's basically why I'm driving today. But yeah, been very good this season so far. Like Sepin was not that good here. It's been much better. P6 is on the first race, and then starting P5 tomorrow, and then yeah, let's see what we can do tomorrow.
All right, so again, Rafa, Stingray, and Andres from Team Pelfrey. These are Pro Mazda drivers. The Mazda Road to Indy is a 3-step program, USF 2000, Pro Mazda, where these guys race, and then Indy Lights, and it's all designed to get these drivers up to the IndyCar Series. We'd like to ask some questions. You guys ask some questions. I know we got one fan already. I'm gonna go down here and find out what she'd like to know. She's got a question for our drivers. Do you want to ask these drivers a question? All right, get ready, guys.
How do you drive when you just turned 16?
Great question. How do you drive a race car at 140 miles an hour when you've just turned 16? Andres, how old are you?
I'm 17.
Okay, wait, Stingray, you're the youngest, right? Okay, how do you do it? How did you learn how to drive a race car?
I actually get made fun of quite a bit because the older drivers think it's funny that my mom has to drive me to the racetrack. But it's really exciting. I just got my license not too long ago, but you know, it's just like anything else. You practice a lot, you get better.
So what he's saying is his mom drives him to the racetrack and she teaches him how to drive when they get there, I think is the point. That's a great... Are you going to be a race car driver when you turn 16? What'd she say? You don't know? That's all right. You don't got to know. You got time. Great question. Thanks a bunch. Anybody else have any questions for our drivers? We'd love to hand out some hats. We got some other stuff to give away, Mazda Road to Indy gear. Yes, sir. What's your question?
When you were 5 and you got your go-karts, how fast did they go?
That's a great question. Back in the memory banks. Well, let's go to Rafa. Let's see what he says. We'll ask all you guys, but when you were 5 and you all got your first go-karts, how fast were you going back then?
It's not too fast. I think miles per hour it might be 60 miles per hour.
Maybe
yeah,
60.
I think something like that, like 60 miles per hour. It's not that much.
So there's 5-year-olds driving 60 miles an hour, and I can't seem to find adults that can handle it on the freeway. Stingray, what about you?
So my little 60cc Comer engine only went about 35 when I first started, but when I turned 7, that one went about 60.
60 miles an hour, Andres, you got about the same speed, it sounds like.
Yeah, it's the same. Started at like around 35 and then went to 60, and you know, driven a couple of shifters that can go much more than that. You know, they go 0 to 60 in less than 3 seconds, the shifter cars, so they're really fast. And that's what I did basically before jumping up to cars.
Well, you guys are lame, because when I was 5, I was going 100 miles an hour.
What? Sorry?
I was going 100 miles an hour when I was 5. What do you guys say about that?
Good for you.
Thank you. All right, I feel better. So again, we got Team Pelfrey, Pro Mazda drivers from the Mazda Road to Indy. We'd love to take some questions from the crowd if you guys have any questions. Yes, ma'am. What is your question?
How many races have you
How many races have
done?
they won or done?
How many races have you won?
How many races have you guys won? And I know Stingray, the best out of these 3 drivers, he's got a room of just trophies from go-karting. I don't know, do you have any idea how many trophies are in that room?
I think that we counted them a few years ago, and the number's around 170, I want to say.
170 go-kart races that he's won. Okay, Andres, how many races?
Not as much as Stingray, but karting, I don't know really, but cars, Formula cars and all of that, I think 12 up to date, in Formula 4 and last year in LMP3, the series that is racing right now. So yeah, it's been pretty successful for now, but always want to get better, of course, and yeah, let's see what the future holds.
Rafa, anything to add?
I have no idea. Like, I have basically the same thing that you have in your house, but I never count.
So
Like,
he's won so many races, he doesn't even know.
I don't know. Like,
That's a great problem.
why?
That's a good problem to have. If you can't count how many races you've won, that's awesome.
Oh yeah, to be honest, well, I never had the opportunity, or I don't know, I never counted, so,
Well,
but it's quite a bit.
I like your modesty. I like that about Rafa the most. We got another question down here. Yes, this little guy right here. What's up, buddy? What's your question? He's gonna... I gotta come down to you. Hold on, brother. All right, what's the question?
How old were you when you started racing?
How old were you? You're awesome. How old were you guys when you started racing, each one of you?
So I got my first electric Corvette when I was 3 years old, but I didn't start racing go-karts until I was 5 years old.
5 years old.
Yeah, me too. For 5, for Christmas, I got a go-kart, and every day after school, I went with my parents to the track. I remember, and it was really nice because we got to, know a lot more about each other. We kind of came together, and our love for the sport kind of grew, and it made us our relationship grow. Me and my dad. So it's been really impactful for us, but it's been really nice for us.
All right, so about 5 years old. I know we had one more question right here. Did you still have a question? Yeah? How many races have you guys competed over their career? Yeah, over your career. Great question. I know it's a hard one to count because these guys all came from go-karting, where you can run 100 races a year. Do you have any idea how many races, Rafa, you've run over your life?
Like, go-karting, I have no idea, but racing cars, I did 2 years of F4 in England, and it was 30 races per year. So
60 races of F4.
Yeah, 60 races, just F4.
Wow.
So, and then, yeah, after that, I'm here doing Pro Mazda, and it's just the third race.
Yeah, this is
third
round
race.
3, tomorrow's round 4.
Yeah. So, 63, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's done about
Racing
63
cars.
races in his open wheel career. Stingray, how about you?
So I know that we used to do 42 weekends a year in karting. With 42 weekends a year we were gone. But just in my car career, I have a couple Canon NASCAR races, a couple dirt modified races, and probably around 30 Formula Car events that I've been to.
All right, that's a lot of races. We got a question down here from the young man in the tie-dye. That's a great question, by the way. What is up, my man? What's your question?
How fast do you go?
Great question. How fast do you go?
Well, it depends on the track and the downforce level, but you know, these cars can go over 160 miles per hour, I guess. But it's not really how fast they go at the end of the straightaway. It's, you know, how fast they can turn, and you know, these cars have so much downforce that you can just turn and turn and turn as fast as you can, and the G-forces are really high, especially in this track because of the high-speed corners and the elevation changes. So it's a challenging track, honestly, physically.
So 140 miles an hour, Andres, but do you like his shirt?
Yeah, I think it's really nice. I remember I had one of those when I was little, like all those colors.
The tie-dye, brother. 160 miles an hour. That's a great, these guys are going 160. That's awesome. Yeah, we got a question right here. What's up? Oh, great question. Tomorrow, 85% chance of precipitation. That's a big word for water. Who's raced in the rain before?
Last time I raced in the rain was Watkins Glen last year in the P3 Championship, and I remember I won that race, so I have pretty good experience in the rain, and hopefully it pays off tomorrow, you know, with a podium finish.
And as we go to Stingray, it's important to note, though, that that car that he drove had a canopy, so he was in a closed cockpit. Tomorrow he'll be out in the open in a Pro Mazda car. Stingray, what about you?
I only have one race in a Formula car in the rain, and that was last year at Watkins Glen in the Pro Mazda.
What about you, Rafa?
Well, I raced in England, right?
Right.
So
it rained every day in England.
Every day.
Yeah, he raced in England, so it was always raining.
I don't know. I think race is maybe 4 or 6. I don't know, something like that. Because in England it rains all the time, so the condition of the track could change a lot.
And what's the hardest part about driving in the rain, you think?
Yeah, the water. The water is a good one.
All right, we got comedians up here.
But I think when it's raining a lot, I think the most difficult thing is like to see something. The spray is so big that
so visibility gets
visibility,
affected really badly.
It's
like driving on the highway, but these guys don't have windshield wipers. They have nothing to protect them. It's having spray thrown in your face at over 130 miles an hour, and then they got to go back home and do homework. So it's a pretty tough life. Let's got room for probably one more question. Does anybody want to talk to our Mazda Road to Indy drivers? Find out where they're going to dinner tonight, maybe an old family recipe, anything you'd like to know from these guys before they get out of here. Stingray Rob rode here on a potato. Don't do that, Rafa. It's making noise. All right, so guys, once again, these have been our Pro Mazda drivers from Team Pelfrey on the Mazda Road to Indy. You can catch them in their 4th race of the 2018 season tomorrow, and they're going to be racing all year long. To find out more about these guys, go to RoadToIndy.tv and watch the show. Round of applause for our Pro Mazda drivers. Wish them luck tomorrow. Guys, thanks so much for hanging out.